Okay, let's see what we can accomplish here on this. We are now going to attempt the V-axis. So we are talking about the up and down. Let's see what we got. So we're going to need quite a few things. I'm going to start off with this plate. This little guy right here. So if you'll notice, there's more holes across the top, and these are actually off center. So the front of the plate is going to be when they're off to your left. So for me, it's like that. That's the front. You're going to need 4 of these guys. That key looking thing. And I guess it's time for some glasses here. Okay, so I can read. Alright. You got another pack of bearings. Gonna need those. You're going to need 10mm spacers. These are different from the first ones you used. You're going to need the M5 nylock nuts. You're going to need some more M5 flat washers, same ones we've been using the last couple videos. The M4x14. Yes, the instructions say M4x12. They've been changed to the 14. M4x10. They've been changed. They were 4x8 or M4x8. Now they're 4x10s. The M5x30s. An extension spring. And if there's anything else, I will grab it and show you as we go. I am trying to figure this out at the same time as you. So, it looks like we're going to take this guy. Like I said, we got the front here. So this is where the bolt heads are going to face us. So we are going to start out with 2 of the M530 bolts. 2 of these guys. Take 4 bearings. Of these washers. Two of the spacers. Alright, come on now. Like child-proof baggies. 2 of the spacers, and 2 of the nylock nuts. Just 2. Alright. Okay. Alright. So again, the front, these 2 holes are off center, so you want them to your left, and this will be the front, which means they're going to go through like that. So, take a washer. Then we slide it through. Alright, and then it looks like what, another spacer. Then bearing, then a washer, then a bearing, then the nylock nut. Where's my camera? There it is. So that's what you have. So with it facing you, holes off to the center. And we're going to tighten them up after I put the other pieces together here. Now remember, you put on one bearing, washer, very important, and another bearing. So I need my screwdriver, which is over here. And these we will tighten up. You want these a little tighter than you did the V wheels. You still want them to be able to spin, but you definitely don't want these to come loose. So again, crank them down, but in moderation. You know, you don't want to break anything by tightening it too much. So this is what you currently have. That's what you see from the front and from the back. Alright, what do we have next? Alright, we've already done all that. Alright, now locate the inner bearing blocks. That's these bad boys right here. So we want to use the 4x10s. So how many would that be? 2, 4, 6, 8. So we only need, what, 18 of them? Or less. Let's see here. Yeah, we need 14 of them. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use those to mount these on the back side. There, 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 and then over here on this one we're only going to use these bottom holes. This top one is actually going to get this thing attached to it with a slightly longer bolt. Let's pull that back a little bit so that way I don't have to keep focusing in on you, or I'm not out of range. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so it looks like I'm also going to use the parts I forgot to bring over. Let's see what else. We needed something about the split locks, which I don't see here. M4 split locks. There they are. Alright, it's a good idea before you get started with the nuts and bolts to actually lay the stuff out so that way you can see everything and grab it quickly if needed. Alright, sorry for all the jostling around there. No one said I was a cameraman. Okay. So, we're going to take these guys. You're going to take one, put it on there. We're just going to get all these started here. Of course, make sure you put it on the right way. You want the thing to be facing the right way. So give me a second and I'll show you here. Let me just put one more screw in to help hold it in the right place in the orientation. So there. Alright, so this is what you're going to see. I mean, we're going to have more, but you want it facing vertical. But I'm not tightening all these screws just yet, although I'm going to, but to make things quicker, we're going to just thread them in there by hand for the moment. Then we'll move on to the next one. Yep, don't hate me because the video is boring. I just hope this helps someone actually figure out how to put this thing together a little quicker than trying to decipher some of these instructions. Especially since the instructions include the wrong size screws, which I did verify with Derek at Millwright to make sure that I was using the right ones. So if you look back at the history of my YouTube channel, you'll see I've done some other unboxings and some other builds. I've done the MBOT plywood 3D printer. That was my very first one. That was actually a pretty great little machine for the price I paid for it. I've also done the Obuto gaming chair, which is actually awesome. Don't really have any room for it now, but I do still have it. It's out in the garage. I just don't use it. I also make video games. There's some stuff on my channel about some of the trial and error stuff I've done. Alright, so now I'm just going to tighten these up. Obviously you want to make these tight, but again, you just don't want to just don't crank everything down to go mad. The lock washers actually go a long way to help keeping things snug and keep them from breaking loose. This last one, I'm going to put the two at the bottom. Okay, we got the two at the bottom. Now, we are going to take the M414, which they're actually showing M412, but we're going to take those instead. We're going to take this little guy and see what we're looking at. We're going to put it up here in the top left. So again, take a washer, and we put the screw through the piece. Alright, so as long as I didn't build this backwards, this is what you're currently going to be looking at. Again, with these off to your left. And this is what the other side looks like. So the next step, okay, that's where we use our little spring here. So take out the spring, hopefully, without stretching in. There we go. And I believe we're going to use this last machine screw, the that's the M530. It says an M650. Did I miss it? Yep, right here. So again, if you have everything laid out, you can find things fairly quickly if you need to. Slide one loop with the extension spring. Okay. Alright, I need an M6 flat washer, which we used in the previous video, I believe. Here they are. The M6 flat washer. Put that on this. Slide that through there. So I need an M6 split washer and a nut. Alright, so let's find that. I already have them over here. Yep. Yep, we already used them in the previous video. So there I am looking for them over there, and they were sitting right here from the last video. So, M6 split washer. Nut on there. However, it doesn't say whether it should be up or down, because you see this is it slides in this channel. I tightened it, but I didn't jam it down because I'm sure we're going to have to loosen that up to readjust it somehow. So we slide that guy over. And we put another nut on. I'll show you in just a second what we have here, provided my fingers work. There we go. Okay, so what you're looking at is we got the M650 We got a washer. Then we have a lock washer in here. Let's see. There we go. You have the lock washer. Then you have the nut. Then you have the spring. Then the nut. And the spring is facing oh, there we go. I thought I had it on wrong. And the spring should be facing at approximately 10 o'clock. So you got 12 and 10. So that's what we should be looking at, hopefully. Okay. So then, let's see here, the screw also has a homing switch. Of the homing switch, you will tweak this position, the orientation. Install the router or spindle mount. Okay, well I haven't unwrapped my spindle. I decided to go with the spindle, not the router. I wanted to be able to control it by the software. And of course, you know, with the software it'll turn it off and on, and instead of just controlling just, the speed as well, which I think is very helpful. Especially if you happen to be busy and you have to leave your garage for a minute or something. So let's see if I think the bracket is in here. Yes, spindle mount. There's no actual instructions for this, other than mount it on the front of the plate. So I'm guessing this is the front of the plate. And it would go on something like this. Okay, yeah. So, a little bag of goodies that come with it. It looks like it goes all the way through to the back, which seems kind of odd. How am I supposed to adjust that side to lock it in place? But okay. Let's just assume that this is how it goes. There's not even room for a washer on this particular thing. I mean, there is absolutely no space. You see it right there. There's hardly any space to just get the nut started on it. Size, but there's an Allen wrench with it. So let me see what I got in my computer room here. No, here we go. I don't even know if this, I don't think it really matters whether it's left or on the right. You know, whether this opening is on this side or this side, I don't think it matters. It looks identical. So, alright, so I got that. So what I'm going to do with this side is I'm only going to hand tighten these, because I'm probably going to have to crank it down after I put the spindle in there. All right. So there we have completed the V-axis assembly bracket. This is what it looks like. So I'm assuming it's gonna ride up and down like this.